Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Alchemy Pay, Avalanche, and Algorand partnerships. What this means. It really means a lot of nothing because regardless of having Alchemy Pay partner with ALGO and AVAX, the price will still plummet because the prices of altcoins really follows the direction of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin rises, it kind of rises all tides, rises all boats. When it falls, everything just goes to hell. So that is what it is. And what we have to play now is the patient game. And a lot of people aren't patient because what I see on my YouTube analytics is a lot of my crypto videos aren't doing that well anymore. I wonder why. Probably people are pissed off and they're selling off and they're selling at losses. They bought the highs and they're selling at the bottoms, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to buy the bottoms and sell the tops. But humans are irrational beings, and we usually talk about this in this channel, but today in this video, we're going to talk about the partnerships with Algorand and AVAX and what that means coming in the future. So if you're interested in that, if you're invested in Alchemy Pay, I really suggest you to stick around because that's what we're going to talk about. Otherwise, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, and you have not smashed that subscribe button yet, then please do me the favor, do the YouTube algorithm a favor by smashing the like button and subscribe button. And now let's get into today's video. What we see with this piece of news is that for Algorand, they have added direct fiat payment channels into their network thanks to their integration with Alchemy Pay. And if you don't know what Alchemy Pay is, just know that they're basically a payment solutions provider that connects fiat and crypto economies. So basically the use here is that Algorand can now use their ALGO token for payments in 65 countries because Alchemy Pay has a lot of partnerships and they're working with a lot of retailers to support fiat to crypto payments and transactions. This integration with Alchemy Pay will enable Algorand to onboard users via fiat payment standards like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and countless other local payment channels around the world. So why is this smart for Algorand? This is a really smart play because what they're doing is they're not trying to change consumer behavior and consumer habits, right? Because that's really the hardest thing to do. The smarter thing is to really use already existing mainstream payments in order to increase your own adoption. And the integration with Alchemy Pay really bypasses the complexities of crypto exchanges, which is a barrier to entry for many. I mean, think about it this way. Project yourself 20 years in the future. Maybe you're a grandma or a grandpa and you're about to die soon. You got like a good 10 years left. You're Joe Biden and you don't know how long you're gonna live. Do you want to spend your time learning how to use crypto exchanges, buy and trade crypto when you don't even know if you're gonna live till tomorrow? That really went off into a really dark tangent. All that is to say that generally people don't like new things. They don't like innovation. People are creatures of habit. I mean, the other day I was transferring $5,000 from FTX over to Binance because there are only some coins like Theta that you can only really get on Binance. And regardless of how many times I've transferred the same amount of tokens from one wallet to another, the same exact wallets, every time I make a transfer, I'm always paranoid. I'm always thinking something is gonna go wrong. I feel like something is gonna go wrong. Have you ever had that feeling? Because if you did, let me know in the comments so I can make sure that I am not going crazy. So it's kind of like a natural marriage for both Algorand and Alchemy Pay because both are focused on bringing traditional finance into the more decentralized blockchain way. With that said, with Alchemy Pay added, the ALGO token can really now be used for B2B, business to business or customer to business payments globally and borderlessly. And the great thing is that Alchemy Pay's payment network is focused on doing low fees and fast settlement, and they don't require any special hardware. So when ALGO is used to pay online or in store with the Alchemy Pay network, they will automatically have that crypto converted into the fiat currency that the merchant wants. And before we get into Avalanche and Alchemy Pay, I remind you that if you're getting any sort of value from today's video or you've been following me for a while and you haven't subscribed yet, then please, if you get any value from these videos, if you're learning anything, then can I just ask you for that one small favor of smashing the subscribe button? It means a lot to me. But other than that, I just want to make you a short break because I had some wicked hot Thai food yesterday. It's like Thai hot. Don't get Thai hot because what happens is that the next day you just have problems with your stomach. So let's come back in a little bit. So here's a lesson for you. If you like Thai hot Thai food and you've destroyed the toilet multiple times and your girlfriend is still with you, then she's probably a keeper. But unfortunately, I live alone, so I don't have that experience. Anyways, shits and giggles aside, no pun intended, let's jump into Avalanche and Alchemy Pay. So AVAX has done the same thing as ALGO. They basically joined Alchemy Pay, integrated with Alchemy Pay to provide fiat payment on-ramp on their network. And they also joined Alchemy Pay as a founding member of the Blockchain Infrastructure Alliance. And something that I did not know was that Avalanche is currently the fastest smart contracts platform in the industry, which is very fascinating. And we have seen that this year Avalanche has blew up. Like, they started attracting developers in a thriving decentralized finance ecosystem that is no short or no easy achievement. And they also have the ability to be compatible with Ethereum virtual machine, meaning that developers can basically port their applications from Ethereum, and that is humongously valuable. So having that, Avalanche makes launching DeFi apps simple, makes it possible to deploy customized blockchains that fit an application's needs. And this is great because, like I said, it's all about making it easy for the consumer. And now that they have this integration, the developers can also take advantage of it because they can onboard users with direct fiat on-ramps for traditional payment platforms like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and other local payment channels around the world. Like they say here, despite the flexibility and speed of the Avalanche network, the major factor behind adoption is the ability to bring in new users who don't necessarily have blockchain expertise. If you ever had trouble teaching your grandma how to use an iPad, then teaching her how to use blockchain is gonna be like teaching a monkey how to drive a 737. Like, would you get on a plane when you know the captain behind the wheel is gonna be like, ooh, ah, ah, ah? Of course not. If anybody needs a voice actor for a monkey but not an actual monkey, then give them my number. With Algorand, this is a fantastic integration because now AVAX has a global reach of more than 2 million merchants through the partnerships with mainstream payment and e-commerce platforms such as Shopify, Arcadia, and QF Pay through Alchemy Pay. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Avalanche really blew up over this past year because it went from $1 billion in August 2021 to basically over $12 billion today. And this article was written in December 24 of 2021. So that is huge in terms of growth, with the growth being benchmarked by the total value locked. So now we're going to get into some ALGO and AVAX charting. But before we get into that, let me know if you actually enjoy it when I actually do technical analysis and charting, because I find myself doing more of that in my most recent videos, and I just want some feedback as to whether you enjoy them. Just let me know in the comments below. And I'm a firm believer of looking at my charts because our mentors at IM Academy don't even read the news. They look at the charts. Why? Because the gap between the rich and the poor is so big, right? The poor really don't own any assets, the rich owns all the assets, and they have bots and algorithms moving money for them, and they're using the exact same tools and charts like Fibonacci in order for them to program their algorithms and their bots to trade for them. The inside news that they know is already baked into the charts, and they're using Fibonacci like we use Fibonacci. So that's why what they teach at IM Academy is what I am using when I am displaying to you or showing you the charts, where price is going and things like that. So if you want to learn more about that, check out IM Academy in the pinned comments or the description below, or you can set up a free call with me to learn more about that. But otherwise, let's get into it. So we're looking at the algo chart. We're in the day view. It is February, January 28th. If you're watching this like on the 29th or the 30th, then it probably won't matter because right now everything is sitting. I expect things to be sitting until February 3rd. So I'm not going to make any moves in this market. Why? Because it looks like I had to draw a Fibonacci from the bottom here, which is at 22 cents, all the way to the high here, because I usually would draw a Fibonacci from here to here, but if I do that, then the levels won't look good. So if I did that, I usually buy at the 0.5 and the 0.6, but pretty much all the Fibonacci levels in this range has they've lost it actually. So you can see here, if we were using the one that I just drew on the 883, it kind of closed below it, or almost did. It actually closed below it, I think, here in January 25. So that isn't a good news, but it looks like it's bouncing from that. But we could see the support and resistance being here at 67 cents, because what you see is that in the past, this has been a strong level. This acted as resistance here, and it acted as support here in these 3 points in May, in June, and in July. So if it falls down, I'm expecting it to have a strong reaction at this level and bounce. So if you are not in a hurry to buy algo, then I would probably just put some limit orders down here at 67 cents and watch it bounce. But other than that, that is your news update for algo. Pretty short, not much going on because we're just going to be sitting in our hands. Now let's take a look at AVAX. So AVAX is also in kind of a similar situation, and you could see that I drew a fib from here, which is at $9 to $144. So from the bottom really here at $9.32 to $144, which you can pretty much say is all-time high. The all-time high was 147. So Avalanche really blew up this year, and that's what is not good about it, because you can see right now it is hovering above the 618. But with the things that is going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, if Bitcoin falls lower, then we might see this fall and break the levels, break the 618 and go down to this level. And why? Because over here we have a huge imbalance. And what a huge imbalance means is that there's no chop. Like what I mean is, if by chop is like it just consolidates around a line, like this point here, that's chop. But what we saw here is huge imbalance. It just ran all the way up. And when we run all the way up, that means we can just as easily run all the way down. So if you're not gonna pick up any value or any knowledge from this one video, just pick up that one tip. The imbalances are scary, because if it falls down to this level where it had some chop and it breaks down, then it's gonna go completely down, and that's scary. And where else do we see imbalance? We see a huge imbalance basically from here. I mean, how many days is this? If we take the ruler here, from here to here, 35 days of straight run up. So that is also a huge imbalance. So if we lose like the level of $36, then the next level would probably be $9, because we see such a huge imbalance. There's not a lot of chop. That is very risky behavior. So I wouldn't get into AVAX right now, but for you, you can do whatever heck you want. It's not my money. And funnily enough, ACH provide the perfect example of this. You could see this huge run up, this huge imbalance, and this really took them to the all-time high of, let's say, 23 cents. And that is a big drawback. I mean, if we go from here all the way down to, let's say, where we are right now, that is basically an 80% drop from the all-time highs. That is not good for all the people that bought over here. But anyways, you could see this big imbalance, and always know that the higher time frames, like the day overpowers the 4 hour, the week overpowers the 1 day. So when we're looking at charts, we want to look at charts like that. But anyways, you could see this big drop here. That is because we had no consolidation. There was no chop like this. From here to here, we had all the chops. We had all the chops really over here. But from that point all the way down to this point, there was absolutely no chop. Like we can consider that right there, these two candles, but that's not really chop, I would say. Or yeah, it's just 2 days. So really from here and here, we're now experiencing chop, but I don't know how long that is going to last. There's just so much to fall for ACH. So yeah, I think you don't need me to say that I am not taking a look at buying any ACH right now. But at any time, if you want to gamble, I think this would be a good gamble, because if it goes back up, then you're in a stand to make quite a lot of gain. But if you're risk averse like I am, you want to know what you're buying into, this might not be it. Anyways, guys, I hope you know that with those charts, I'm looking at it at a trading perspective. That means we're buying and we're selling within a few days or weeks, and not looking at investment for a month. Because when you're looking at investing, then you really have to know your project. That is where I give you my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. You have to do your own research, do your own due diligence before investing into anything risky like cryptos. But other than that, I hope you really got some value from today's video. If you've enjoyed this video, if you learned some technical analysis, then please check out the links to Academy below. Other than that, if you don't mind smashing that like button and that subscribe button, check out these other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember guys, stay humble, stay patient, stay focused, and stay disciplined. See you next time.